one that was the biggest hit at the box office, Wreck-It Ralph. Scotty, what the hell happened with the movie that seems like it's destined to be your greatest film ever?
It was pretty good. Am I the only one that saw this movie, I take it?
You sure are.
That's kind of sad. This was pretty good. Obviously, it's right up my alley. It's based on video games, but it's more than just that. They do something very interesting with the video game genre in that they don't focus on one licensed property. As you guys know, there's lots of little throwbacks to old arcade games from arcade games, like in the actual arcades, but also some home console video games from back in the day. But they don't focus on just one. The main character, Wreck-It Ralph, is the villain in a game called Fix-It Felix. And he's the bad guy. He's tired of being the bad guy and kind of wants to branch out and be known as a good guy and be accepted by all the rest of his video game characters in this unseen world. So what he does is he escapes his game and enters another game to try to win a hero medal so that he can come back and be loved by everybody again. And he winds up leaving that, going to a kart racing game that's based in it's called Sugar Rush. Everything's based on candies and sweets and stuff. It's kind of silly, but
it's like Candyland.
Kinda. Yeah, you're familiar with that, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I am. That's how you get them in the van.
There he meets a character named Vanellope. It's voiced by Sarah Silverman. Oh, Wreck-It Ralph is voiced by John C. Reilly, by the way. She basically steals his medal so that she can enter a race and forces him to help him win so that he can get his medal back. And the story sounds kind of silly. It kind of is, but it does work pretty well as far as keeping you engaged throughout the whole time. The really good part about this is that the video game theme is there, but nothing is focused so much at one time, especially the older games, that kind of thing. They're just kind of touched in a little bit here and there. The story does sound a little silly. It is geared more towards kids than a lot of other movies that welcome adult audiences into it. But it's not overly silly at any point. It really does work, and it's got a lot of charm. The acting, you really couldn't. It's hard to talk about acting with a cartoon movie because it's all about the voice casting. But you really couldn't have asked for a better voice cast. John C. Reilly, perfect for this character. He's got a big guy with the heart of a teddy bear. I was really worried about Sarah Silverman's voice acting in this movie because she's really annoying in real life. Especially
I like Sarah Silverman.
I like her in doses, but she can get...
She's fucking Matt Damon.
That was pretty funny. But she had the potential to be annoying really early, and she really wasn't in this. I was really pleasantly surprised. She had the perfect amount of childlike charm. She plays a child character in this, and it was really, really great. Alan Tudyk is in it. I don't know if you knew that.
I heard he's one of the voices, yeah.
He does a voice that sounds eerily similar to the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, which I didn't know he had the ability to make that voice. But Jack McBrayer, Jane Lynch, even Ed O'Neill makes an appearance in this. Each voice was just perfect. As far as the production, this is one I did see in 3D, and I'm glad I did. I'm finally believing that 3D movies are best suited with animated movies. Live action ones, just it's more distracting. This is one that makes it fit a lot better.
Did you feel like you were 10 again because all your favorite video game characters are coming at your face?
A little bit. I mean, that stuff wasn't so much in your face. The more 3D stuff was more in the action sequences, like when they go to the made-up games. Mm-hmm. Like there's a game called Heroes Duty, which is basically a first-person shooter. It's a take on Call of Duty. Sugar Rush, the kart racing game. That stuff was more in your face, and it had the depth. The older references or the retro games, there wasn't so much 3D aspect to it. But as far as the animation, it is. And I mean this seriously. It's one of the best animated films I've ever seen. That's not a Pixar movie. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Are you talking about image quality?
Yes. The images, in the animations themselves were gorgeous. The vibrant colors everywhere. The Sugar Rush area, just colors everywhere. I want a kart racing game based on that. It looks like a lot of fun.
I'm sure somebody somewhere is working on it.
Oh, it's got to be. I can't imagine it wouldn't. There's a couple different tracks that they were doing that I was like, I totally want to play that track. But overall, I had a lot more fun with this than I anticipated. And I actually went in with high expectations of it. I did expect a kids movie. And that is more or less what I got. I think it kind of missed the mark a little bit on what Pixar movies do so well in that they make it enjoyable for both kids and adults. This one brought the adults in with the retro gaming thing, but it just teetered a little bit on the edge of a kids movie. And that's not really a discredit to the movie because it's a kids movie. I mean, it wasn't made solely for me, so I don't really fault it.
I disagree.
It wasn't made solely for you. No, Scotty, it was not made solely for you.
You know what I mean? It wasn't.
We're making a movie for Scotty's $10 ticket.
The throwbacks to classic games were enough to keep me interested, but sadly most of that stuff was done in the first third of the movie, and then the rest of it was all in the made up games that they made for the movie. That's where the majority of the story was. And as silly as the story sounds, it was surprisingly complex in the different ways it went. I kind of just touched briefly on it, but it actually goes in a couple different directions that kept me interested in the story as I went along. There were more than one laugh out loud moment as well. I had a grin on my face throughout most of the movie, so I highly recommend it. If the ticket price was $10, I would give it an $8.50.